Welcome back to the Light Skinema podcast. This is episode 3. I'm Nick with my amazing co-host Jathan, and today's a little bit just of a lighter review because we're getting ready to go back to school. Jathan's actually heading out tomorrow, so
Yeah.
you gotta get ready for that. But yeah, today's just two movies we're gonna review because they're kind of quick, kind of easy. Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Forgetting Sarah Marshall. But of course, we're gonna start with just our week recap, what we've been watching, movie news. If there's anything we want to talk about, prepping for school, getting ready for that. So I'll kick it over to you, Jathan.
Yeah, so I started last week. Today's Thursday, the 21st. I started last week watching Scott Pilgrim, followed
Mm-hmm.
by The Naked Gun, Thunderbolts, one of the greatest movies of all time, War of the Worlds, and today's topic, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, as well as Can't Buy Me Love, which I thought kind of aligned with the theme, so I threw that on. Um,
The War of the Worlds, man. I can't believe you watched that. I can't do it. I can't do it.
it's so funny. It is
I
so
can't do
funny.
it.
It is so funny. You
It
have
literally
to
has
watch it.
it literally has a 1.0 average
I don't care who you
with
are.
over 100K ratings.
I don't care who you are. You have to watch this movie. It is so good how bad it is.
If I do, that will be like a homework movie, like throwing it on while I'm doing like I cannot just sit down and actually spend my time watching that thing.
This backdrop in this poster is the entire movie. It's one of those single setting movies, and it's just Ice Cube yelling the entire. See, you're going through
I
the
wanted
stills. It is.
I wanted to see if they had the one where he's like, "It was you." When he stands up, he's like, Was it you?"
It's you.
I wanted that backdrop, but
That
oh my god,
I'll be going back to this for years. I would be
stop.
surprised if it didn't sweep the Oscars, and it's just truly a landmark in cinema for just revolutionary technology used. I mean, the editing might be the greatest edited movie of all time. I mean, it just beautiful, and I can't wait to see more because I can't wait for this direction that cinema is heading in.
God, just garbage.
But yeah,
I mean, the memes are already going crazy on it.
that was pretty solid. Thunderbolts. I did not watch this movie when it first came out. I finally got around to watching it, and it was pretty solid. I honestly would rank it above Fantastic Four, and I'd say it's the best Marvel project to come out this year. I haven't checked out any of the TV shows, so I don't know how that ranks up against it, but I just think it's a very original film compared to what Marvel's been releasing lately. I really enjoy the cast here, and it's just really Marvel finding themselves as well as the characters finding themselves in a state where the future is kind of uncertain.
Yeah, uncertainty is, I think, the best adjective to describe Marvel at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep it at that.
I take it you were not a fan.
No, I mean, the mental health aspect of the film I thought was really interesting and cool, but I mean, I love the cast, I like the actors, but the movie is just these are like B and C tier characters in the world. Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, has gone through how many fucking arcs at this point? Like, I love Sebastian Stan. I love seeing him pop up as the character, but it's like he's gone through. What else more can you do with his fucking character? We've done it all. I mean, I have the same rating as you, but I feel like mine was a little. To be honest, I was trying to be nice and generous, but I saw it when it came out in theaters, and I was not pleased with it at all, especially because it was getting good early reactions. But I
I
mean,
think it's a solid airplane movie for people to check out and just kill 2 hours. And I wouldn't say it's a turn off your brain film, but I do think it's enjoyable. Um, there's some decent set pieces here, action wise, and yeah, I do have it over Fantastic Four. I'm not gonna get too in depth as to why, but I just feel like it's a return to form for Marvel, and it's a definitely a step up from the past year or so for them.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, do you have any plane movies on your mind for tomorrow? You're just gonna kind of go for it when you're on the plane.
I've definitely that is a game time decision. I usually do a movie that I've been putting off that I just have to like get around to. Like the last flight I took, I watched Knives Out, and that was amazing. That probably shouldn't have been watched on an airplane. Same with Mad Max.
Furiosa.
Yeah, Furiosa. That
Yeah.
I even said that in my review that I should not have watched that on an airplane monitor.
I could go into a whole rant about that movie of why people let that movie fail, but I'm not gonna do that today.
We should do
Not
a Mad
today.
Max episode.
Yeah, that'd be good one day. Um, if you got
But what
nothing else,
about you, Nick?
yeah, I'll pull up what I've been watching. I feel like it's been a long week. I was just telling Jathan this morning. I don't feel great, but I'm just gonna push through it. Last weekend I saw Highest to Lowest, Spike Lee's new film. I was pretty let down with it. I gotta be straight up about it. I love Spike Lee. I actually just did a ranking of. I've seen 10 of his movies, and I just did a ranking on my TikTok about it. But this was not great, and I was a little hesitant to even log this movie because I don't want to give Spike Lee a low rating. But then I didn't feel too bad because Spike didn't write this movie, and normally he writes all of his films or is a co-writer on them, and you can just tell that this was not a Spike Lee movie. He was just the man in charge directing, but it did not feel like his movie. I think all the acting was not good. If I'm being honest, I don't think it's like Denzel's fault or Jeffrey Wright's fault because both of them are fantastic, but the writing is just really, really bad. You have a lot of inexperienced actors in this too, and I just think this movie, this script, working with Denzel and Spike, I think was too big of a moment, honestly, for a lot of these guys. Like they just couldn't keep up. Yeah, not a big fan of it, if I'm being honest. But I mean, getting Spike and Denzel in 2025, I guess, is a positive.
Would you
Um,
say that that movie is, I guess, like ruined by the studio, or is just like a botched release that felt mandated?
I don't think the studio probably had any involvement because Apple distributed, but they were the main distributor, and they're pretty hands off. I just don't think they had good people working on it. Like the writer of this has like one or two other movie writing credits, and they're like no name movies, like and just some random fucking guy. I don't know. I don't know why Spike didn't write this.
Mm.
Obviously, it's a remake of High to Low, but the changes they made in this I thought were good, and it's like much more contemporary than High to Low, which I thought those changes were good. But the script is just awful. I thought the dialogue was awful. The shit Denzel was saying is like, I thought it was like disrespectful. It's like this guy is arguably top five greatest actors ever, and you're just having him say this nonsense. I just like I would say 30, 40 minutes into it, I was totally checked out. But I'm glad I saw it, but disappointed for sure. Um, then later on the weekend, I rewatched Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban at the Alamo Draft House. I'm watching most of the movies in theaters because they're re-releasing, so I'm happy to finally get to see all the Harry Potters in theaters. And the gist of my week has pretty much just been Terminator franchise, which has been kind of a headache. I love Terminator 1. It's really good. Great introduction to this world. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I think it's one of the best action movies of all time. I give it a 4.5. I actually just watched it in June, but I had to rewatch it the other day because obviously, like I said, I'm running through them all. Then
Such an
last night I
iconic
finished.
film.
Oh my god! When Arnold is chasing after John Connor and the T-1000 is driving like the big truck, and Arnold is swinging his shotgun and shooting it and swinging. I was like, oh my, that's just the best moment. It's so good. And then last night I just finished up 4, 5, and 6, which are just abysmal pieces of shit. I hate those movies. We'll never watch them again. And then obviously I didn't rewatch Fast Times this week because I just recently watched it last month, so I didn't feel like I needed to rewatch it. But I did rewatch Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and obviously we'll get into that once we get to that part of the episode. But Yeah,
Did
pretty light
uh
beat.
did James Cameron work on T3?
Let's check that. He definitely didn't direct it. Let's check to see if he was a writer or producer. I'm willing to bet he probably at least produced it, maybe. Um, didn't produce,
Didn't write.
didn't write. Yeah, just got credited for original writer. But yeah, I mean, T3 wasn't bad. I was expecting it to be like awful, but I kind of liked it. I liked the. I think. What's yeah? TX is like the woman Terminator in this. I thought her design was awesome. I mean, this one is very similar to the first two. I mean, they're all kind of the same story, but I like T3. It wasn't bad. It was better than I expected. But 4, 5, and 6, we'll never be watching those ever again. But happy to say I finally watched all the Terminators. For movie news, I just want to shout out real quick. Daniel Day Lewis is. I mean, I've known this for a while. He's finally coming out of retirement. He has a new movie dropping October 3rd. His son is directing it, and I think who else is in the movie? Sean Bean is in the movie, and that trailer just actually dropped a few minutes ago, so I haven't got to watch it yet. I might make a TikTok video on my reaction, but
Probably be
definitely
up
cool.
by the time this episode comes out.
Oh yeah, if I make a video, yeah, yeah, it's cool to see Daniel Day Lewis back. He is one of the best. I always thought growing up he was like people just said that to say that, but every movie I've seen from him, the guy is just he literally it doesn't matter who else is in the movie. He steals the movie away. He's fantastic. Have you seen There Will Be Blood, or is that on your watch list?
On the list.
Because that whenever you do decide to watch that, I think that will be a movie would be perfect for this podcast because I feel like that would be something you would love to discuss. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my movie watching and movie news. I think probably by the time we record episode 4, I think you'll be in San Diego and school will be starting. So,
Yeah.
I'm sure when we record that, we'll do a whole just how is moving back to San Diego and
Yeah, you guys
school
can
and
get
all
a
that type
house
of
tour.
stuff. I don't know
It's
if we
not
want
going to
all that.
be super glamorous, but I'll be kicking it on the couch for a while.
All right, You want to start with Fast Times first, or do you want to start with Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Let's start with Fast Times because I feel like that is the less recent between the two of us.
Okay,
Um,
I have it pulled up right now, but yeah, if you want to maybe introduce it a little bit.
yeah, so Fast Times at Ridgemont High is an 80s film, but I feel like you can watch it any day of the week and feel a little bit of sentimentality towards the characters and just relate towards everyone because it's more of a slower paced film. It's not going at breakneck speed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it really doesn't drag its feet, even though it's just very slice of life. Um, it's following some students just trying to make it to the end of high school, really, and there isn't a heavy like plot or like I guess central conflict going on, but it's just more getting through the last days of high school and the hilarity that ensues. And you have a great cast in Sean Penn, um, Judge Reinhold,
Yeah,
Jennifer Jason Leigh. It's just a fun time. It's not gonna be a film that you need to like be super locked in for. You can have this on in the background and get the same enjoyment. But there's some really funny scenes in here. Namely for me, anything with Jeff Spicoli, Sean Penn's character, and Mr. Hand, which I'll get into later. But what'd you think about this film, Nick?
yeah. I was obviously I've known what this film is a lot because I feel like there's obviously a very iconic. I don't know if I should say, it, but the pool scene with the certain lady that scene's pretty iconic, and I knew about that scene before I had seen this, and I mean this movie gets referenced in a lot of stuff. Like I know they talked about it in Stranger Things because obviously Stranger Things takes place in the '80s, so this film was obviously coming out during that time period. The cast is crazy, obviously who you just named, but like I didn't know Forrest Whitaker was in this. I didn't know Nicolas Cage was in this. Like it's just really cool actors popping up. Um, I'm with these type of high school films. I like them. Like I normally give them anywhere from the 2.5 to 3.5 range. So not movies I hate, but I they're fun. They're fine. Like Dazed and Confused is in the similar realm. American Graffiti. I know you absolutely love that movie. I like American Graffiti more than Fast Times, but kind of in the same light of just high school kids running around, just like normal shit.
Low stakes.
Like, like you said, this was made in the '80s, but I feel like it's still very relevant to high school. Obviously, just minus cell phones because that adds a whole nother layer of stuff nowadays. But I mean, you can watch this and like Sean Penn's character. What's his name?
Jeff
Spicoli.
Spicoli.
He reminds. I'm not like I said. We're not gonna name any names of people we know, but there was a individual that we went to middle school with that reminds me of him a lot. I don't know if you can remember who
I'm
I'm
trying to
thinking about.
pinpoint who you're referencing here.
I mean, I can send it in the chat in a second, but yeah, there's somebody that reminds me of him a lot. Just no care in the world, kind of just strolls into class, say whatever the hell he wants, doesn't care. But yeah, it's definitely fun. This is a movie that I think down the line I'll probably watch again at some point if I just want something to throw on, kind of turn your brain off, just enjoy the moment. But yeah, if you want to kick off any questions or anything you want to get into.
I just want to say that this is like a genre of film that I enjoy because it's like a comfort watch for me. I don't know if I tapped into this in the previous episodes, but there's just certain movies that like I can watch and just like transport myself into the world a little bit more because it is such a familiar setting in high school, so everyone can kind of relate, and it's just a film that I wouldn't mind showing to anyone of any age bracket, and I think it's a very safe pick if you haven't seen it and just need something to watch.
hmm
Um, is there any memorable scenes that come to mind when you hear the title of the film?
I mean, my favorite scene, yeah, for sure. Like I said, I only saw it once and not too long ago, but is when Judge Reinhold's character, what's his name? Brad Hamilton, when he gets fired from the burger place because he's arguing with the customer. I don't know. It just made me laugh a lot, and it's simple, whatever. But I feel like a lot of good. It kind of reminded me of Good Burger, honestly. I love Good Burger, so it kind of reminded me of that. And then I think that's the scene where you actually get Nick Cage, and he's just in the back, just like flipping burgers, just staring at them while Brad Hamilton, the character, is getting cussed out and he's getting fired at the same time. That scene was really funny. And then the pool scene with him is kind of it's kind of messed up because he goes into the bathroom to do some business and he gets caught. So that scene was pretty funny. And then Sean Penn, anytime he comes up on screen, I think it's just hilarious. And he just, I'm going to type it in the chat for you, but he just reminds me of somebody we went to school with in middle school a lot. So
Yeah, I love any of the scenes with Spicoli, and that's actually what I was gonna get into here with my favorite scene from the film, is when they have this teacher named.
Do you have your phone near you?
Yeah,
I'm just
I'm
gonna
looking.
text you. I'm just gonna text you. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can go though. Sorry to interrupt.
Any scene with Spicoli is great, especially with Mr. Hand, who is just kind of like the perfect foil to his carefree attitude, because all Mr. Hand does is care. And you would think he's like one of those stereotypical characters, like very hard nosed, but you see the layers of him kind of peel off as he gets confronted by Spicoli and his carefree attitude. And you just realize that he just really, really cares about making sure his students are educated. But I love the scene in particular when there's two scenes actually that I want to get to. One is when he shows up late and okay, I see what you mean now. And
Yeah.
I actually talked to him not too long ago, but he walks into class and he's like what 20 minutes late or something, and his character's like a stoner, so he has just no clue what's going on, and he walks into class and they get into a little like argument about it that's kind of funny that the whole class just kind of watches unfold, that I feel like
Hmm.
everyone can relate to when there's like a teacher trying to get his shit across, and then there's obviously the dude who's just trying to be the jester, the class clown. But he asks him why he's always late to his class, and he just says I don't know, and so he writes that on the chalkboard, and he's like I don't know, and he
Hmm.
challenges him with that, and you're just gonna have to watch the scene. But there's another one later on because Spicoli is failing, where he actually shows up to his house, and they just kind of come to terms with each other in that there's like a mutual respect between each other, and he finally comes to terms with Spicoli's carefree attitude, and he just says aloha, Spicoli. And I don't know, I just thought it was cute. I thought it was really good writing, and it's very subtle, I think, and that's effective for me.
I got two things. Well, one is just quick question. This is in San Diego, right? I can't. You said it takes place in San Diego or
So the
somewhere in
last
California?
episode, I said it takes place in San Diego. I did do a fact check, and it is San Fernando Valley, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken.
No, it's still West Coast, so
Yeah, the valley.
yeah. Second one is without, like I said, no names or anything, but was there, not saying that, was there a scene that reminded you of something specifically in high school, but did this movie make you think of any crazy story or in school experience in high school?
Absolutely.
If you can get into details about it, but
If we're getting into detail,
well, not no names, no
okay.
names, but I'm saying if the details are podcast appropriate.
I don't know. I think this
I have
movie,
one. If I have one for sure, if you want to hear it and see where my head's at.
you can shoot one off, but I think there's
Okay.
too many to name, especially in the high school we went to. Is like all people were doing were like goofing off. Not
Um.
saying that was the only thing, but like it was very
Yeah.
accepted.
Mine is the moment where Sean Penn is driving Forrest Whitaker's car, and he crashes it. It reminded me of one of my friends. I remember I wasn't in the car with him, but I remember he kind of got that car pretty recently, and it was raining out, and it was like a small sedan type of car. And I remember before, because we were going to eat somewhere, he was driving with one of my other friends, and I was in my car driving alone. But I remember saying to him that like, make sure we drive slow because it was raining hard, and I was like, I know he had just got his car and his license, and he is kind of goofy, joke around guy all the time, and I just remember pulling up to the restaurant because he left before me. I think it was after one of our practices, and I just remember getting there and his car was completely totaled, and it just reminded me of the scene with Sean Penn when he's goofing around in Forrest Whitaker's car, and I think Forrest Whitaker's brother in the movie, younger brother, is telling him the whole time like, be careful, like don't do this. He's like, I know you want to have fun with it, and he's just not listening to him, and then they end up completely destroying the car. So that just brought me back to that memory pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think what you described is kind of summarizes the whole film. It's just I wouldn't say innocent because it's obviously not a good predicament to be in, but it's very carefree, and I think it's an easy watch for a lot of
Yeah.
people.
When you're in high school too, you just think that like, I don't know, you think you're just like invincible and like you know everything, and it's just that couldn't be further from the truth. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have on Fast Times. If you don't have anything else, we can move on. But I don't
Yeah,
want to
let's
move
do
on too
it.
quickly. If you get, oh, okay, all right. So next is, well, Jathan pretty much recommended Fast Times for the episode, and then I said, do you also want to include Forgetting Sarah Marshall because I enjoy this movie a good amount, and he was down to do that. So if you don't mind, I could introduce this one if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so it's just pretty much I'm gonna say the actors' names because I always blank on the character name. Sorry, but Jason Segel is the main character in this, and his girlfriend is played by Kristen Bell, and she in the movie is a famous actress. And they've been together for a while, but she just ends up breaking up with him pretty abruptly, and the movie just concludes, not concludes, but moves on to them both ending up at the same resort in Hawaii, where they kind of have to figure out, if they're gonna get back together or if they're gonna move on. And you get great other actors in this, comedic actors. You get Mila Kunis, Russell Brand, Bill Hader, Jonah Hill, and it's just it's your classic 2000s comedy rom com. You get the jokes of the time, the pacing, the same type of stories, but I don't know why I just like movies that have to do with like vacation or resorts. I don't know. I've just always been that way, and I think Jason Segel is hilarious. He actually wrote this movie, so a lot of his scenes are kind of head scratching scenes, but then you can't feel too bad because the guy wrote those scenes in himself. Um, Mila Kunis is an actress that I always loved growing up. I love her in Ted. I love her in Friends with Benefits. So, I've seen this movie twice now. I don't think it's anything crazy. I only give it a 3 star, but I have fun with it when I watch it.
Yeah, I feel like you enjoyed this just a tad more than me. I gave it a 2.5, but
Hmm.
I just felt like it was more of a romance than a comedy, and the humor really hinges on this like love triangle that's going on, and I don't know. It felt like they were running out of ideas for me personally.
Hmm.
Um, I liked it. Like I didn't have a bad time with it, but I definitely was expecting a little more. I was reading a couple of reviews and I kind of agree with it in that the Hawaii setting, it feels like they kind of ran out of ideas, or like they just kind of like ran that into the ground. And I kind of see that towards the ending, because spoilers. The ending, it involves what's his name, Peter, coming back to mainland USA, and he directs this play. And I just thought it was a better change of pace, because the scenes just started blending in for me. And
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll come back to this, but there's some funny stuff here, but I don't know. It just didn't work fully for me.
Yeah. I think it's too long of a movie. I think this should not exceed an hour and 30 minutes. But, I have a good time. I think Jonah Hill is pretty funny in this, that he's so like, it's just so classic Jonah Hill 2000s comedy. I mean, obviously he has been in a lot of great comedies, but his character is just so obsessed with Russell Brand's character, because Russell Brand's character is pretty much, he's playing himself. It's just a guy that is like famous actor, singer, and he's just looking for his approval the whole time. But I think the first time I watched this, why I kind of liked it and was so shocked with it is just because I'm not going to repeat some of the jokes, but some of the jokes don't hold back. And I thought it was really funny that Jason Segel actually wrote this. He probably has like 3 full frontal nudity scenes, and I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, who writes that in a movie for themselves to do? But I thought, I don't know, it's funny, and he just is so committed to the bit. I gotta kind of tip my cap in that aspect.
I thought there was definitely some wild scenes, and there's
Yeah.
one in particular with two rooms and some yelling going on, but that was
Yeah.
pretty funny. But
Yeah. And I
would I
think Mila
recommend it?
Kunis.
Probably, if you have nothing better to do.
Yeah, you don't have to feel. You don't have to feel bad about it. Um, yeah, I like Mila Kunis. I think she has great comedic timing. Like, I really really like her in the Ted movies. Well, she's only in the first one, but I really like her in that. I think she's really funny in Friends with Benefits, which is one of my favorite rom coms ever. But yeah, I mean, this is just okay. It's nothing crazy. I just wanted to include this because it's tropical, it's vacation, and one of my questions for this is, I feel like I might know this answer, but was there a tropical vacation you've been on, and was is there like a funny or fun moment that is attached to that?
Yeah, I went to the Bahamas my senior trip for my senior year of high school, and there's definitely some crazy moments here and there. Um, I feel like a lot of them were recreated in this movie. I'm not gonna name any names, but
Yeah, of course, yeah.
um, no, I think that when you're on a resort, the movie does a good job of showcasing that anything really goes, and
Yeah.
what happens on vacation kind of stays on vacation. So, any specific moments that come to mind? God, that was
It
almost
doesn't even
four
have to be
years
like
now.
it doesn't even have to be crazy, but was there anything fun on that vacation that you wanted to quickly talk about? I know it's not directly related to the film, but
I Any fun moments? I'm not gonna name any names again, but
yeah, please
from
don't.
what I heard, there was one story because you are not allowed to do a certain substance on this island, but
Hmm.
let's just say one of my friends was doing his thing out on 2 in the morning when everyone is hungover and passed out and blacked out, and he was still hanging around. And island security found him doing a certain substance that is Schedule One, and he booked it. I mean, he booked it. He ran around the whole island. This is an island that is huge, and it was
Well,
like straight out of.
I don't think he ran across the whole Bahamas
I
island. I think
think
he
he
probably.
did.
I don't think you know how big Bahamas is. I'm telling you right
I
now. He probably ran out of the resort and ran to other resorts, but I don't think he. You can't run across the whole
I
Bahamas
think
island.
he did. I think he's that crazy to do it, but
But I'm not like. Do you know how big the Bahamas island is? He didn't run the whole island. I think he ran to different resorts for sure that were around. I've been to Bahamas, not on this trip, but it's you can't run the whole resort. You have
you
to take
get the
cars to get.
gist. It was like what's that one song, the Benny Hill song where it goes na 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 na. It was one of those scenes, and
Oh, okay.
it ended with him sleeping in a bush and waiting for security to go to bed, and then he tucked himself to sleep at 10 in the morning when everyone was going back out to drink. So,
God. I
do
was
you
just
know
gonna
who I'm
say,
referring to?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. We can, you can confirm it through a message if you want. Well,
I'll
obviously,
do
no
that.
names. Um, my fun moment, I was not gonna actually involve a crate because actually all the tropical. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. All the tropical vacations I've been on, most of them it's been when I was young, so I couldn't drink, and then the few I've been on since I've been old enough, I don't drink, so that's not something I don't have crazy stuff in that sense. But it made me think of when they're surfing. I've never surfed on vacation, but when I used to go to Aruba as a kid, I used to go tubing where they like attach the tube onto the back of the boat. I used to do that a
Nice.
lot. I used to do that a lot as a kid, and that was always super fun. And I don't know, this movie always just brings me back to um, my trips in Aruba as a kid. Obviously, when I was in Aruba as a kid, I was not in a relationship or drinking, which this film is pretty much primarily on. But it just reminds me of that kind of aesthetic and atmosphere. So that's why I like it. I love movies that take place on vacation, even if they're not the best. But I'm a big vacation guy, so it's just fun. It brings back memories for me.
Who isn't a big vacation guy?
Yeah, and well, I most of the vacations I go on, I like to do stuff. I know some people like to just go on vacation and relax, which I do like doing that too. But I'm kind of more of a, if I could pick between the two, I'd rather go on a little bit more of an adventure vacation, doing stuff than just kind of sitting on the beach. But it's still sitting on the beach in a tropical place is nice as well.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Um, is there anything that, because this movie was released in 2008, is there anything that came out around this time that makes you kind of reminisce on other movies or just that time period in general?
Instantly when I watch this, I think I don't know why, but it's this is dumb because it's not related, but it this always makes me think. Well, this is close to it. It makes me think of Superbad because I think Superbad was 2007. So obviously Jonah Hill is coming off that very successful movie. But every time I watch Russell Brand or hear his voice, it always. I think you've probably seen this before, but the movie Hop. You know that movie?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the voice of
Very
the bunny.
vaguely.
He's the voice of the bunny, EB. So every time I hear his voice,
His
it
name
always
is
makes.
EB.
Yeah, the bunny's name is EB. I'm not lying.
They
You
don't
can look it
call
up.
him Easter Bunny. They just call him EB.
Well, his dad's the Easter Bunny. His name is just EB because he's not the Easter Bunny yet till the end of the film.
Then what does EB stand for if he's not the Easter
What do you
Bunny?
think? What do you think it stands for?
I don't know. That's why I'm
It
asking.
just it stands for Easter Bunny, but his dad is the Easter Bunny,
What,
so
like
they
he
call
doesn't
him
earn the name? Like, is that
pretty
his
much.
character arc?
Yes,
Okay,
pretty much.
I'm not gonna entertain it.
Well, yeah, Russell Brand's voice always makes me think of that movie. But yeah, I only watched this movie for the first time like last year, so it's not something that has been a part of my life for a long time. But it's just fun, lighthearted. I thought it would be easy for us to talk about and watch this week. But yeah, I mean, I don't got much more to go into it. I think this movie is pretty self-explanatory, and it's not anything crazy, but just a fun time, something quick to watch. So, staying on the topic of high school movies with Fast Times, forgetting Sarah Marshall was in high school, but we wanted to do a list of. I think you did 10, I did 10 of our favorite high school films. I don't know if your list is ranked, if you can go in whatever order you want, but yeah, we just want to kind of touch some light on some other high school films we love. I don't think either of us have seen each other's list, so this is going to be a surprise to us as well. But I'm going to pull up Jathan's right now, and he'll just walk you through his picks.
Yeah, so my list is not in order, but
Mm-hmm.
I tried to pick 10 movies because I feel like with high school movies it can kind of follow similar plots, but I tried to pick 10 distinct movies. Some of them are going to fall in line with others, but I tried to pick 10 movies that I just really enjoy. Some guilty pleasures are in here, and others are just objectively pretty good. But I
Mm-hmm.
think we should start with House Party, which I believe came out in 1994. This is a film that is, I don't know if you've seen it, Nick, but
I
this is a
have I know
film.
what it is. I have not seen it though, and it's a shame on my part.
This is a film that just doesn't get made again in this current landscape, but it's just a really fun film. It's really funny. Um, Unserious, I would say. It's just about some kid trying to throw a house party to gain social status, and shit gets in the way. You see people crash this party. It's just a fun time, and
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of high school because there's very hectic and everything feels like it's the end of the world. Um, my next pick is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and I referenced this before, but I really love stupid movies, and this is a prime example of that. You have Keanu Reeves as I think he's Bill. If you want to scroll down,
Oh yeah,
he's
Ted.
Ted. Okay, and Alex Winter's Bill. Just two idiots who really don't know what they want to do after high school, and they go on a time traveling adventure, which might be a turnoff for some people, but in this I think it's used in a very casual sense, and it's just really funny. There's so many scenes that are iconic. 69 dude, Socrates, um just turn off your brain, have a good time movie.
I don't think I've ever
um
heard of that one before.
Really,
Honest to God, I don't.
that's like a franchise. There's like three sequels.
Oh God, I think I'll just stick with that one day maybe.
You should. It's awesome. And we talked about this film earlier, but my third pick is American Graffiti. Just a really, really beautiful film by George Lucas, and was just a shock to me considering what he goes on to later do with Indiana Jones and Star Wars. But it's just a good turn off your brain. Just enjoy the vibes film. It's about a group of high schoolers who are just trying to navigate the last days of school before they go off to college, and it's just it's a comfort movie for me, and it's very Low stakes again, but I love it to death. The production design is amazing in this. Definitely an underrated film. Check it out if you're interested in filmmaking, and just one of the greatest directors who knows how to pull you in.
Definitely underrated.
At number 4, we have 21 Jump Street. And I feel like everyone has seen this, but just really funny. Great chemistry between Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill. And there's
Brad
so
Pitt.
many funny moments. I
Channing
did
Tatum.
say Brad Pitt. Oh, fuck.
You mean Channing Tatum?
Cut that out.
It's fine.
But
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I was joking. But just a great movie from Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who I believe did the Lego movie after this, which is kind of weird, but
Yeah.
yeah. And
Cloudy with a
Cloudy
Chance
with
of
the
Meatball.
I didn't even know
That's a
that.
banger. That's a banger.
All of those are great films. I feel like everyone who's watching this has seen it, but if somehow you haven't, great film. This is like one of those films that I will turn on with my friends and just turn off my brain and laugh.
Yeah. It's like the ultimate, you know, guys need to turn on a movie, turn that
Yeah.
movie on.
It's definitely a guy's film, but I feel like girls can enjoy it too
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's just so
100%. Yeah.
stupid. But
Mhm.
at number 5, I have Clueless, which you have as a 2.5, which I'm curious as to why.
Yeah.
But I like this movie a lot. It's very funny. It's very on the nose. And can you pull up Amy Heckerling's movies? I feel like she has done other stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
Fast Times.
So,
Okay.
there you go.
I like it a lot. I think that it's very iconic.
For sure.
I think it's written well, except for the ending. I hate the ending.
I don't like the ending made me want to throw up. I
The
hate
ending
the
is super creepy, in my opinion, and weird. But
I hate it.
I try to just ignore the ending. But
Hmm.
if you haven't seen it, definitely throw it on if you need something to watch. Again, just very funny, and it didn't stick the landing for the ending for me, but I'll go back to it. Just a great script.
Shout out Brittany Murphy. I love her. She's in this
Yeah.
movie. Love her.
My number 6 pick is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and this is just another timeless film. It's been referenced so many times throughout media and cinema, but great message. Matthew Broderick just steals it as Ferris Bueller. He understood the assignment, and it another just relaxing film that you can just turn on and not think about too hard and just enjoy, especially after like work or something and you just need to take the edge off.
I definitely gotta rewatch it soon. I like it a lot. I think I'll like it more though on rewatch.
We talked about this one earlier, but at number 7 I have Superbad, and this is another movie where I feel like everyone has seen it, but this is a film that I feel like really is just a landmark for our generation and millennials.
Mhm.
And it's really ridiculous, and I love those types of movies, and it's just a fun time. There's great chemistry between Michael Cera and Jonah Hill, and obviously Christopher Mintz just delivers as McLovin.
He reminds me of somebody we went to school with. I'm gonna text you the name. I want to see if you can kind of see what I'm getting to, because I've said this to people a lot and they don't really see it, but I think
I feel like everyone can kind of I love these movies where they have characters that like everyone has like encountered before in school, and McLovin is just one of those where it's just like he's just an absolute meme.
the name I just texted you, especially when he was younger, like our sophomore year, he acted just like that guy, exactly like him. especially when he was a sophomore. And they kind of look the same too, same body type.
At number 8, I have Lady Bird, which I just checked out fairly recently, but I feel like this is different from the previous films in that it's funny, but it definitely is trying to make a statement and deliver a more profound message than the other films. And I think it really, really delivers on just selling the high school experience and the pressures that come with wanting to change yourself to appease other people. And I think it's just a great character arc and a great script, and it deserves all the praise that it has received.
Yeah, it's definitely really, really good. I think it's I've only seen, let me see, I've only seen Barbie and Lady Bird from Greta. I still have to see Little Woman, but I think Lady Bird is her best directed film at this point for sure.
I know Little Women is like a crowd pleaser.
Yeah, it's just been remade so many times. I feel like I don't know, but I do have to watch it at some point.
Okay, at number 9, I don't know if this counts as a high school movie, but I have Mac and Devin Go to High School. And this kind of falls in line with War of the Worlds, where it's just a really bad movie, but I don't care. Like, I will watch this any day of the week. The music is amazing.
Yes, it
There's
is. Yeah.
It's just awesome. Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa understood the assignment, and they just absolutely delivered on a masterpiece here. And hopefully, you have it marked as watched in the future.
Oh, in the future, yes, yeah, not right now.
How
It's
many people have it marked as watched on Letterboxd?
says about 28,000 have it marked as watched.
That's a crime, but it's on Netflix last time I checked. But
Yeah.
if if you're a stoner, this is for you. Um,
Yeah, I think that's why I have shied away from this movie. But I Wiz Khalifa when I was in elementary and middle school. He was like, I'm not even just saying this. He was like my favorite rapper. I
Me
loved Wiz
too.
Khalifa. Andy Milonakis. I love this guy. I forgot he was in this movie, but I this is a
Knees
classic movie.
down.
I don't know that reference, so I don't know.
I'm pretty sure
But
that's the name of his character.
uh, yeah, it
Yeah,
is. I gotta check this out one day.
you'll,
I definitely will.
you'll find out why. And to round off the list, I have a more serious pick, and that is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. And I just really enjoy, uh, I guess, the characterization of the main character here. I forget his name, but he's played by,
Charlie.
yeah, he's played by Logan Lerman, who delivered as Percy Jackson, just iconic performance. But
Hmm.
it's a fun film. Um, it really is deep. I will say that. So don't watch this if you're not in the mood for it. But I think it's profound in what it has to say. Um, hate his guts, but Ezra Miller delivers here. He's a really interesting character, and I think he put a lot of himself into that character, just being like this kind of outsider, but at the same time doesn't really care about what is expected of him socially. And I'm not gonna keep going here, but it's a really interesting watch, and if you need to watch something that you haven't seen yet, I think it has 3.3 million watched. Yeah,
Yep.
it's definitely watched for a good reason, and it's a really entertaining movie.
I mean, I definitely like it. I will say though, and I've said not on the podcast. I've said this. I've said this to people that I do not to burst anybody's bubble. I do think this is the most overrated movie probably on Letterboxd in my opinion. Just because I mean, so many people have watched it. It has a very high average, but I think it's more so just because I don't relate to the character Charlie that much. Because if correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure he is yeah. It says he's a freshman and he's hanging out with seniors, and Emma Watson's character is a senior, and
I didn't
kind of hit.
remember that.
He definitely is because it says it in the description here, and from what I remember, but I just It's good. I don't love it though. I gotta be honest, not to burst anybody's bubble, but yeah, I get why people like it. It's just definitely not one of my favorites, but it is very very heavy, like you said, very iconic, and I can see why people relate to it.
If you're on TikTok, you've seen clips of this movie.
100%. Yeah, that was a big TikTok movie for a while.
But yeah, that
Um,
was my list.
yeah.
Again,
Sorry.
I just tried to go for stuff that reminded me of high school. There's some deeper picks here, but at the same time, there's some really unserious stuff that you can just wind down and relax and watch. But if you want to pull up your list, Nick, I
Yeah.
don't know what to expect here, but you did say this is in order, so I am
Yeah.
interested in what you
My
have to say.
Okay, so mine is in order of in the terms of a high school movie, not in terms of what is like. I have a movie here at 4.5 that I think sits at the 5 spot, so it's not in ranking. It's more so the feeling it gives me of a high school movie. And
Okay.
I also want to preface this too, like I would have probably put like Spider-Man 1 in here, the Toby movie, which I have ranked really. I have it at a high rating, but I don't think that movie is more of superhero than high school. So I try to pick movies that, high school is very of the plot of the movie. And like I said, like I have a movie in here that's rated really high, but I have it at the 5 spot just because I think some other movies above it focus more on the high school aspect. But this is ranked. So number 10, I have High School Musical 3. I grew up watching these a ton. I'm still a big fan of him, but I had always been a fan of Zac Efron. This actually isn't my favorite High School Musical. My favorite one is the second one. But the second one, they're on summer vacation at a country club, so it doesn't really revolve around high school that much. Obviously, they're still high school kids, but so I picked the third one because I like it more than the first. This is when they're graduating, and I think, senior year is a year where you're focusing on school. You're obviously want to be out with your friends. You want to do fun stuff, but then you kind of get that kind of, I don't know, sense of fear when you're like, oh, I have to start thinking about my future. I have to set myself up to the best success I can. And I think this movie displays that pretty well. The musical numbers are great. Um, have you seen? I'm sure you've seen these movies before, right?
I had to have while I was just like scrolling through cable, which is an
Hmm.
aspect I kind of missed today because I it was a time where people would just throw on whatever was on and you didn't really care because now it's like everything's available. So if I saw this, I'd be like, yeah, I'll watch this halfway through, even though I didn't see the first half on cable. But very iconic. Zach
Hmm.
Efron was just on a run with Disney in
He
this
was the
era, and
man.
yeah, and I'm glad he's getting some recognition today with some of his more, I guess, serious roles. I'm thinking of the Iron Claw that comes to mind, but very fun. And if you're Gen Z, this is your movie.
I also want to shout out this real quick. 17 again. I didn't include it in my list, but it is a high school movie. It's really good. Zac Efron. It's really emotional too, but I didn't include it in the list just because I like it, but not enough to love it to make it in the top 10. I
I
think I
thought
actually remember.
about I thought about putting that on there, not
Hmm.
to interrupt you, but
No, it's fine. Go for it.
I didn't enjoy it as much as you did, but
Hmm.
definitely in the same line as High School Musical 3 where it's just like made for TV but you can still enjoy it. Yeah, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah. Next is Booksmart by Olivia Wilde. This is pretty recent to me. I only watched it a few years ago, but you know, for a teenage high school movie, this one's probably my favorite. Like I said, I do have Lady Bird ranked in terms of rating higher. I have Lady Bird at a 4. I have this at a 3.5. But I just think the character Lady Bird in Lady Bird, I just don't relate to her at all. What she goes through and her struggles is not something that kind of is relatable to me. But I think these two teenage girls in this, they are kind of characters, and they're kind of goody two shoes. But I think it's this movie. If I'm correct me if I'm well, I don't know if you've seen it, but if anybody
I haven't.
comments below, um, pretty sure it's the last day of school, and they had been so concerned about getting good grades and going to a good college that they kind of didn't enjoy the fun aspects of high school, and their last day of school, they're trying to, squeeze it all in on the last day. So it's really fun. It's quick. I just had a blast with it when I saw it. It's really funny. Good cast. I definitely recommend that movie if nobody has seen it. At number 8, I have Fat Albert. I don't know if you've seen this.
I feel like I have, but it's been
Yeah.
so long.
This movie I used to watch like there was no tomorrow. I love it. I haven't seen it in years. I probably have not seen it since probably 2012. So a good like 12, 13 years. I love it. Obviously not going to talk about Bill Cosby because he's a piece of shit, but this is a character he created. Obviously Kenan Thompson. I love Kenan Thompson. Good Burger. He's still on SNL today. Amazing. Um, I think this was probably the first movie as a kid that I can remember of like having like a full black cast and focusing on, the African American community, which was really cool to see as a kid. I'm pretty sure that like this is probably the first movie I've seen with like an all black cast. So I really love it. It's funny. There's great music. Um, it depicts high school in the 2000s perfectly. I know my aunt who was in high school in the early 2000s loves this movie as well. So I really have a good time with Fat Albert.
Have you seen Corey in the House?
Yeah, a long time ago though, like as a kid, probably only like once or twice, but yeah.
I feel like that kind of is similar to Fat Albert, even though it's not fresh in my mind at all. But again, with the Disney Channel picks.
hmm at number 7 is Dead Poet Society. I think in terms of like the best movie, in terms of like best performances, how it's shot, this one is probably the best on the list. It's just not my highest because I don't love it more so than some others. But Robin Williams, I mean, I know you're a big fan of him. He is great in this. I don't know if I would put this performance above Good Will Hunting, but he's for sure amazing as the
It's up there.
professor, John Keatonton. This is obviously a high school kids, but in a boarding school, a boys' boarding school. Ethan Hawke is in this, who is in my personal like top 15 actors of all time. He is phenomenal. It obviously has the famous ending of "Oh Captain, My Captain," which is probably one of the most known quotes in films. I mean, I've only seen it once, so I don't have a huge attachment to it, but I do love it. I think this film depicts mental health a lot, and a lot of parents how they push their young teenage kids to either like do really good in the sport or they push them to like get all A's in school, and a lot of those kids end up feeling very pressured and very empty in this movie. And if you've never seen it, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a certain character in this movie which his parents do that, and you just see kind of the repercussions of that. Next is Back to the Future. Sorry, Back to the Future. We've obviously both seen this. We're both big fans of it.
That
I
rating
have
needs to go higher.
I have all the Back to the Futures at the same rating because I love them all so much. But they're not my favorite movies. I don't revisit them all the time, but they are so iconic, so quotable. I don't think the first one is my favorite out of the three, but I think it is the most like high school centric one, the simplest story. So that's why I picked it for this list. I recently rewatched them all this past January, and I hadn't seen them in years. But I love it. Michael J. Fox obviously is so awesome, fantastic. Christopher Lloyd, I love him. I think he's one of the more underrated actors ever. I think he has great range. Just a lot of fun. Everybody has seen this. I don't have to go into crazy detail. It's just very iconic.
Which of the three is your favorite?
It's tough because I think off the top of my head right now, I'd probably put number 2 as my favorite because I really like how they really go into the future, like 2015, with the hoverboard and all that type of stuff. I really like that. But I really like the third one too. I love Westerns, and I think they did a good job with it. I get why people don't like the third one, but I love it. I really do like it. But they're all good. I have them all at 4-star. When I watch them, I like watching all three of them. I don't like watching like one without the other.
We're gonna have to do an episode on that trilogy.
Yeah, I'd be very down to do that there. Awesome movies. Timeless movies. At number 5, A New Edition. Like I said, this movie is my highest rated on the list, but in terms of high school movies, that isn't really the huge focal point. But this is another boarding school. With it's obviously this is a Christmas movie, so I only really watch it during Christmas, but I love it. It's stars Paul Giamatti, who is fantastic, one of my favorites. Divine Joy Randolph, who won Best Supporting Actress for this. I think it's one of the most deserving wins in a long time. And Dominic Sessa, which this was his first feature film. He's about to be in Now You See Me 3, if anybody knows what those films are. But I love this. It's just so heartfelt. I don't want to give anything away, but Paul Giamatti's character in this, I relate to him a lot. He's a very isolated man who is really gets, he's very tough on himself and is angry at the world for really no good reason. Yeah, his character I relate to a lot, and it makes me very emotional when I watch it because it kind of leaves me disappointed and questioning myself sometimes, but I love it. It's so good. The high school aspect is obviously in this, but it's not too much of the focal point. That's why I have it at number 5. And that's the movie actually. They go to the Somerville Theater in that, which is a theater I go to a lot. Me and Jathan have went once together where we saw The Brutalist, and they showcase that theater in the movie because it's a Boston movie. So that's another reason why I really love it. At number 4, Jesus, my throat is killing me. I don't know if it's the same with you. I feel like I'm losing steam here, but
That's what
number 4.
Starbucks does.
Oh my god. At number 4, I have a Halloween H2O. It is not my favorite Halloween movie, but I think it is the best one in terms of high school. God. You get Josh Hartnett in this, who was obviously in the 90s. He was one of the biggest actor stars. You get Joseph Gordon-Levitt, LL Cool J, Michelle Williams, obviously the great Jamie Lee Curtis. I love this one. I think it's so good. Once again, a private school. Michael comes back after 20 years. It's, your classic slasher. A lot of people don't like it. It has a pretty low rating on Letterboxd, but it is for sure one of my favorite slasher movies and one of my favorite Halloween movies.
I didn't want to put a horror pick on there, but if I were to, I would definitely put the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I thought about that. I've only seen it once, and I don't know if it would crack my top 10, but next for number 3
Freddy. He's such a cool character, but
next is Scream for number 3. Have you seen Scream or no?
I want to say I have, but it's been a long time.
Because you didn't
I have a
it
common thing with Letterboxd where if I vaguely remember something, I will not mark it as watched. But
yeah, so number 3 is Scream. I love this movie. I love watching them with my sister because she's a big fan of them as well. I think it is, kind of the most iconic slasher movie. 90s movies, horror movies are the best. Cast is great. Obviously, one of the best openings with why can't I think of her name? Drew Barrymore. It's a lot of fun. I think this is kind of, like I said, the best slasher movie kind of out there objectively. Okay, the next 2 I'm kind of gonna ramble a little bit. I'm losing some steam here, but the next 2 mean a whole lot to me. Okay, 10 Things I Hate About You. Heath Ledger, R.I.P. He is one of my favorite actors ever. I think if he was still alive today, he would be considered, a top 5 actor of all time. The guy, his range is unbelievable. To go from this movie where he's, just a normal guy, very emotional, just teenage guy, to 8-9 years down the line, do the Joker with one of the most despicable villain performances ever is just insane to me. But I've seen this movie a whole bunch. I haven't reviewed it a lot on Letterboxd because I used to watch it before I had Letterboxd. The last time I watched it actually was when I was with you in San Diego 2 years ago in October was the last time I watched it. But it means so much to me. I'm a sucker for rom-coms. I always have been. I'm not ashamed to admit it. This movie means a lot to me because, the 2 love interests here, Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles, I mean, they couldn't be more different from each other. And, I'll just say through my experiences in high school dealing with that, I feel like some people feel like opposites. I know they say opposites attract, but I feel like a lot of people, when they don't have super common interests, they kind of write you off and they kind of think like, oh, this will never work because you like this and I like this and I don't like this and you don't like this. But I think that's just BS. I think if you really care for somebody and like them, you're willing to, you know, like their interests and like all that. I see you smirking, but yeah, this movie in that aspect means a whole lot to me. I've seen it on Letterboxd. I've only logged it once, but I've probably seen this movie a good 5 to 10 times. I watch it all the time. It makes me cry. Love it. I see you laughing, but
I'm not laughing.
okay. And then obviously number one, Superbad. I think this is the best high school movie ever. If you're a guy in high school, I don't see how you can't relate to this movie. It's pretty much just guys trying to get alcohol to impress their crushes at a party later that night. It's classic. You got the one friend who is at work. I don't know what you just flashed. Okay, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but okay. You obviously have one friend who has to go to work after school, which is, I kind of related to that. I would always work after school. But it's classic. I mean, everybody has seen this. I think it is the funniest unfunny movie of all time. And what I mean by that is like, I don't think any of the jokes are necessarily funny. I just think how,
It's very
relatable,
deadpan.
super deadpan. I think how they act and, just the actions they do is so relatable. That's what makes it so funny. How Jonah Hill talks to Emma Stone's character. He's so nervous and he makes up the most random shit. I feel like every guy has kind of done that. My favorite scene of this whole movie is the alcohol scene with McLovin when he goes in there with the fake ID and he ends up getting punched in the face and ends up with the cops. But it's just so iconic. I love it. I know some of our friends from high school were big fans of this movie. I feel like this is a movie that, even non-movie fans adore. It's iconic. I love it. Running out of steam here, but yeah, that was
Would
my 10.
Would you recommend Superbad to anyone over the age of 30
If
that
they've never
hasn't seen it?
Yeah, I would. I think so. I would recommend it to people in their 50s if they've never seen it because I think it's just a timeless high school story. Like, high schoolers would be lying if they've never, they were in school, they thought of a plan of, I'm going to do this tonight, I'm going to like talk to this girl, I'm going to get the alcohol. Every high schooler has made that plan at some point in their life, so I think it's relatable. So I just love it, and it's super funny.
Solid list.
Yeah. I have one more thing I wanted to get to if you want to get to it as well. I don't know if you saw it on the rundown.
I did
not
see
make it not make it too long, but obviously summer is winding down. We're in the last couple weeks of August, and September, October, there's a lot of great movie releases coming out. This is when the Oscar movies are going to start rolling out with the film festival starting up, but I just wanted to go over if there's any films coming out in September, October that you're looking forward to, or any that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. I'm not gonna name off too many, but there's one in particular that just really interests me. It's Him, directed by Justin Tipping, and executively produced by Jordan Peele and his production company, Monkey Paw Productions. It's a sports horror film that really deals with injuries and how far you are willing to push yourself to the limit. And if you've seen a trailer for it, it just looks like something that no one has ever really attempted before.
Yep.
Sports horror, to my knowledge, is like very it hasn't really been done on a this level, and I just can't wait to see it. I don't really have too much to add to it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. I played football my whole life. So football means a lot to me, and I'm interested to see the horror aspects and, like you said, the injury aspect of it as well. If you don't have any more, I have a few I wanted to touch some light on.
Um, that's it for me, really. I kind of just see what's in the theater. I don't really have the schedule planned out in mind, but
Hmm. My first one, I have one battle after another.
actually,
Paul, oh, go for it. Go
sorry.
for it. Go for it. There's no
Um,
worry.
let me just check the release date on this.
Hmm.
Okay, it is coming out in October. Um, if you can pull it up on Letterboxd,
Yeah.
Tron Ares.
Hmm.
Again, I'm just gonna fly by through this one, but I can't tell you too much about it. But I watched a trailer in theaters, and it just looked insane to me. It looks so beautiful. The Tron movies are known for their visuals and their scores, and this is just it looks like a beauty, and I'm really excited for it. I see Jared Leto is in it, Greta Lee, Evan Peters, Jeff Bridges, just some great cast. I don't recognize Joaquin
Hassan
Rennick.
Minhaj is in it. I didn't know he was in it. I love that guy.
I don't recognize the director. If you can pull that up for me.
Yeah, I don't recognize him either. Oh, Jesus. Pirates 5, which most people hate. Maleficent, I haven't seen this one.
Okay.
Benditas, I've seen. I like Benditas, but
It just looks super interesting. Watch the trailer for it. Definitely not for everyone, but if you like the cyberpunk stuff like Blade Runner, this looks right up your alley.
I'm definitely going to see this. I'm more so excited for Greta Lee because I'm a big fan of her. She did fantastic in past lives. I think she should have been nominated for that role. She wasn't, but I'm very. I'll definitely be watching this when it comes out.
But that's
My
it for
first,
me.
yeah, my first one that I'm really excited about, which I'm like, I'm like counting down the days, especially because it's going to be in IMAX as well, is One Battle After Another. Paul Thomas Anderson's new film. I've seen most of his films. I gotta watch the ones I haven't seen before I go. I'm gonna be doing a whole Paul Thomas Anderson, filmography, watching the first couple weeks of September. But I am ecstatic for this. I think the trailers are fantastic. The humor looks great. I mean, the cast is one of my favorite casts I've seen in a long time. Obviously, we got the great Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio, who is one of my favorite underrated actors of all time, Regina Hall, Tiana Taylor. They're the big names in this. I'm sure if you've gone to the movies in the past month, you've seen the trailer for this. To me, it looks really, really good. I think this has potential to probably be one of my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson films. It looks like right up my alley. I don't can't say too much about it, but I can't wait.
Can you go through Paul Thomas Anderson's
Yep,
filmography for those who are not
of course.
familiar?
Yep. Um, like I said, I've seen a good amount. Good amount. I think you might have seen some, but his most notable is There Will Be Blood. Daniel Day Lewis won his Oscar for this. Boogie Nights is another early film from him that got a lot of praise. Licorice Pizza is his most newest film. I liked it. I didn't love it. Punch Drunk Love. You got Adam Sandler probably in one of his more serious roles. Hard Eight is his first movie, first feature film. It has Samuel Jackson, Gwyneth Paltrow, I think John C. Riley. It's really, really good. The Master, I've seen. I really like it. You got Joaquin Phoenix, Amy Adams, and the great Philip Seymour Hoffman. A lot of people think he should have won the Oscar this year for that movie, and I gotta agree with them. I think he was snubbed. Inherent Vice, I have not seen yet, which I will be watching soon. Phantom Thread, another Daniel Day Lewis movie. He got nominated for an Oscar for that as well. I have not seen it yet, but I will. And then Magnolia, I have not seen. I have it on Blu-ray. I will be watching, of course. A lot of people said that the new movie Weapons and the structure of that movie is very similar to Magnolia, so I'm interested to see that because I watched Weapons. I really liked Weapons.
I
Um,
need to check that out when I get back to San Diego.
yeah, Jathan, I think this guy, he's a West Coast director. He's from Los Angeles. I think if you start tapping into his filmography, I think you'll be a big fan. Especially, I think Licorice Pizza will be a movie you like, and Boogie
Okay.
Nights. I think you'll really enjoy those.
Put
Um,
that on my radar.
yeah. The next is the Smashing Machine. Sorry, directed by Benny Safdie, who he is the director of some of my favorite films, Uncut Gems, A Good Time. He did both of these movies with his brother, Josh Safdie, who Josh Safdie is doing Marty Supreme, which comes out in December with Timothy Chalamet. But Benny Safdie, I am a massive, massive fan of him. I think he's a great director, but I think he's even a better actor. He was in Oppenheimer. He is Teller in Oppenheimer. If you remember, he's the guy that Emily Blunt wouldn't shake his hand at the end of the film. He's in Licorice Pizza. He's pretty good in that. He's in Good Time. He plays Robert Pattinson's brother. He was just in Happy Gilmore. Are You There,
Hate
God
that
Is Me?
movie.
You hate this movie? Or Happy Gilmore?
Yeah, the sequel.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Crucify me, but I haven't seen Happy Gilmore 1.
Well, that was dumb for watching the second one without the first. But Are You There, God Is Me, Margaret? He's awesome in that as well. He's a great actor. He's about to be in the Odyssey as well. I love him. But I'm so excited for the Smashing Machine because it looks like Dwayne's going to get a real serious role, which he just doesn't have many. He pretty much plays the same character in all his movies, and I'm not afraid to say that. He looks very different than he typically does. I'm not a big fan of UFC, but I think this movie's going to be good. Emily Blunt's in it, who I'm a big fan of as well.
Zoe Kravitz.
Just
oh wait,
no, I don't know who this is.
Oh,
Yep, that's definitely not Zoe Kravitz. Well, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this a lot, and I do have a list on here that I just look at sometimes of movies coming out. And some of these releases, I'm not. I don't think the exact dates are locked in because a lot of them are festival movies. But the Black Phone 2 comes out. Where was that? With Ethan Hawke. I still have to watch the first one, but I will be watching that when that comes out. Blue Moon, another Ethan Hawke movie's coming out with Margaret Qualley and Andrew Scott, directed by Richard Linklater. I'm looking forward to that. And the last one, I don't know the exact date of this. I'm going to pull it up on Letterboxd just to showcase the movie more. But Begonia, directed by, why am I blanking on his name? Yorgos Lanthimos. He is an awesome filmmaker. I really like his movies. Poor Things, he did a couple years ago. Emma Stone won her second Oscar for. I love that movie. The Lobster's pretty good with Colin Farrell and Rachel Weisz. The Favorite is another good movie. Killing of a Sacred Deer. Kinds of Kindness is his most recent movie that came out last year. I liked it, didn't love it, but I think I will definitely rewatch it before his new film comes out. But Begonia is his newest one coming out in October. Emma Stone is in it. Obviously, I'm a big fan of her. Jesse Plemons is in it, which I think he is one of the most underrated actors working today. His filmography is crazy. He's Killers of the Flower Moon, Civil War, obviously. The Irishman he's in. He's great in that. He's not in it too much, but he's fantastic. Game Night.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. Yeah, the El Camino movie. Game Night, he's awesome. I think he...
Have you seen the show?
No, I have not. I've tried to watch it a few times, but yeah.
I'm not going to spoil then.
Yeah, please don't.
He's malicious.
I'll probably watch it one day. Jesse Plemons is in the show too as well.
Yeah, he plays a character that does something insane.
And then I'm sure you've probably seen this at some point in your life, but he's in Like Mike. He is one of the kids at the orphanage in Like Mike, if you remember that.
Sounds familiar. Probably saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all I really had for movies I'm looking forward to. Like I said, I'm losing some steam here. My voice is killing me. But yeah, anything you want to add before we sign off here today?
No, but I thought it was a good episode. I think we had some good topics here just with high school and just a more back to school theme that we try to go for here. What would you say is something that you reminisce when you watch these movies? If it's too deep of a question.
No, it's not. I like it. I just have two different answers for it. and I'm gonna get a little. You're probably gonna smirk at me like you did before I saw that smirk. But two answers. August always reminds me of football season because when I was a kid, like midway August would be okay. Practice starts, and then that really sends me into school. So that always reminds me of school and just the time we're in now. But these movies, especially, I mean, a lot of them don't focus on relationship stuff, but obviously, 10 Things I Hate About You is very, very much that. It just reminds me of like when you're a high school kid, you just think you know everything. You think your your grand plans for how you're going to execute things are going to work out, and it never does. It always goes differently. It always doesn't go the exact way you wanted. And I think all these movies, in a certain degree, showcase that. Like, it's okay if your quote unquote perfect plan doesn't go that way. It's okay if your friends don't get along with everything you like to do, or like you feel like you don't fit in. It's okay to have those type of feelings. High school, as fun as it is, and when you're in the moment, you think it's the most important thing is. I'm telling you, when you get out and that next year you start college or you start working in the real world, you forget it all. It doesn't fucking matter. Nobody cares. It's everybody moves on with their life. Like I said, in the moment it's a big deal, but after you're done with high school and you graduate, nobody cares anymore. All those stupid petty fights and petty arguments and like all that BS, it doesn't matter at the end of the day anymore. So, when you're in it, just try to have as much fun as possible. Don't let the negative things kind of pull you down.
Good answer.
What about you?
What do I reminisce on when I watch these high school movies?
Mm-hmm.
Just like I appreciate in a lot of these films that they remind you how hard it is to be a high schooler. I think that's kind of underlooked when you look at the grand scheme of things, but it's such a extreme time, I'd say. Everything feels like the end of the world, and everyone kind of feels the same way about it, even in the moment when you're in high
Mm-hmm.
school. But you reminisce on the times that everyone was able to be themselves, in my opinion. Um, I'm sure you can think of a certain person, but there are times where like you see someone in high school, like I'll use Superbad as an example, McLovin, where like you're not exactly best friends with them, but you go on that one night out and you realize how cool they are and
Yeah.
just able to be themselves without the constraint of being in a classroom and like peer pressure and stuff like that. So I just think about the good times and times you're able to break free and just have fun
Yeah.
because you're so constrained in that period where you have school, you have sports, you have extracurriculars, and it feels like you don't really have time to figure out who you are and what you want to be. So,
And you're still a kid, but mentally you feel like you're an adult, but you're very far from it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But yeah,
well,
that's about it.
I got nothing else to add. That was episode 3. Like I said, by the time we record episode 4, Jathan will be back in San Diego. Our schedules are going to be getting a little bit tighter by that point, so we'll definitely have to make sure we get our filming schedule right and all that. I think probably the next episode we don't have a film picked out yet, but I'm sure we're going to get more back into, I don't want to say serious film, but we'll get back into more film that we can get more in depth about
Film
than just
review.
kind of, yeah, more than not just quick, fun comedy movies. But yeah, that's it for,
I'm down for that.
yeah, that's it for episode 3. Yeah, we'll be back with episode 4 probably hopefully soon.
Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Yeah, just watch something that you haven't watched. Get out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. All right, see you guys. Signing off.